Hey 7th graders, the last Amplify lesson of the day. This is 3.2 and 3.3 Evolutionary History, your learning targets for today. I can identify which species are more closely related based on shared structures. And finally, we are going to revisit that mystery fossil that we kind of learned about at the beginning of this unit and then kind of learning on different methods on placing that. So I can place a mystery fossil and use evidence to explain why it belongs with whales or wolves. Do your one note today. You guys should add key concept number 7. When two species share a structure that is not shared with the third species, this can be evidence that the first two species are more closely related to each other than to the third species. So this should be the last thing you guys add to your one note. Okay, and then your guys' bell ringer for today. You guys have species C right here, and you guys have two openings that you guys could place species C. So either 1 or space 2. So where should species C be placed on the tree? You guys are going to circle either space 1 or space 2. And then what is one body structure you use to make your decision? So if we look at these species, okay, is it more closely related to this one or more closely related to this one? Okay, which body structure did you guys use to kind of determine where it would go? Okay, and then finally explain how this body structure helped you make your decision. So kind of explain to me how you guys reached your conclusion. Take a second, pause this, go ahead and complete the one note and the bell ringer through slide 4. And then we're gonna move on to activity 3 when you're done. Okay, so you guys are going on to activity 3. You guys will want to take a second, pause this video, open this link, and you guys are going to watch how paleontologists determine relatedness. Okay, so again, take a second, pause the main lesson video, watch this video, and then come back when you're done. All right, so moving on, you guys have a little sim activity where we have 5 options to drop fossils here. And you guys are going to be looking first at cetaceans, okay? Place all cetacean species into the evolutionary tree by determining which species are more closely related. So you guys are going to open up this link here. Okay, and then when you guys go into it, you guys should be in the cetaceans. Okay, and then you guys are going to go to the tree mode of this. So I'm going to move this little guy here. Choose tree. Okay, there's my tree mode. And then I'm going to go down to cetaceans, which is right here. It's going to zoom me all the way in past vertebrates, artiodactyls, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Here's our cetaceans. So this is the same image I just showed you guys where you have 5 options to drop fossils. Okay? Study the blue whale and orca structures so you guys can read a little bit about blue whale and orcas. Okay, and what their structures look like. You guys can compare them as well. Okay? And then read the first question below and place a fossil species into location 1. Then repeat this for each of the locations. For each location, choose between the 2 possible species given in the question. Use the Structures tab in the study window and the eye icons to help you make your guys' decisions. So remember that when we look at this, you guys can click on these little eye icons. Okay, so thick bony wall around the middle ear. That developed about 48 million years ago. Shorter limbs, the skull changed, which improved underwater hearing. Very small hind limbs, nostrils shifted back, and loss of external hind limbs, nostrils shifted further back. So what you guys have on the next slide is kind of a this or that. Which of the 2 species belongs in location 1? So hint, investigate hind limbs and skulls. So I've got the Durodon and the Cuchicitus. Okay, so if I look at those, here's my Durodon. Here's my Cuchicitus. I can read about them. I can look at their structures and kind of say, all right, there's obviously a lot of differences there. Okay, so where would these fit? Okay, so we're looking at just placing this in structure 1 right here. So which one's going to fit here? You guys are going to circle one of those 2. Okay, which of these 2 species belongs in location 2? You're going to look at either Pakicetus or Cuchicitus. Okay, and you're going to circle the correct answer based on, again, here's my Pakicetus. Here's my Cuchicitus, so read about them, look at their structures, take a look at the little eyes here. If I exit out of these, I can look at the eyes and say, all right, here's where I have, you know, thick bony wall around the middle ear and your ear. Okay, this one now I've developed shorter limbs, so which one has longer limbs? Those kinds of things, okay? I would go in location 2. Same with location 3 and location 4. You're looking at Indohyus and the Ambulocetus, and then Pakicetus and Indohyus. Okay, and then you guys are going to figure out which goes where, and then which species is Durodon more closely related to, the blue whale or the Ambulocetus? Which diagnostic structures could you use to show this? So what basically switch structures? Those are the ones that are highlighted in the colors. So if we go back and look at one of these, Okay, and we see these 5 structures here. Those are going to be our diagnostic structures. So which one could you guys use to kind of prove that it's more closely related? If we're looking at comparing the Durodon, is it more closely related to the blue whale or the Ambulocetus? So which structures kind of prove that to you? Okay, then you guys are going to do the exact same thing, but this time you guys are going to go in the mammals mode. So again, when you guys open this, you guys should see that it's already in mammals. Perfect. And then I'm going to go to tree mode just like you guys did. Okay, for this one, you guys are going to use shared structures to place the dire wolf and the saber-toothed cat on the evolutionary tree. Okay, open the mammals mode of the sim, press tree mode, navigate to the Laura Cyatheria branch of the tree. So I'm going to go down here. And we have arrived. Okay, study the following species, the dire wolf and the saber-toothed cat. So if we look here, we've got dire wolf here, we've got saber-toothed cat here. You guys can take a look at their structures, their appearance, their shared diagnostic structures here. Okay, and then you guys can also look at the African lion and the gray wolf. So if I look on the evolutionary tree, I can see the gray wolf is here, and I can see the African lion here. Okay, so I can look at both of those as well. And then I'm going to figure out where to place the saber-toothed cat and the dire wolf. Okay, and then use similarities and differences in shared structures to decide which species are most closely related to the dire wolf and the saber-toothed cat, and place these fossil species on the tree accordingly. And then answer these questions. So what are some structures that are shared between all 4 species? What diagnostic shared structures, again, those are the colored ones, help you decide where to place the dire wolf and the saber-toothed cat on the evolutionary tree? Okay, so go ahead, take a second, pause this video, complete through slide 12, placing those mammals, those mammals on the mammal tree. Okay, and then when you guys are done, we'll talk about the last part, which is our mystery fossil. All right, so the day is almost here. We are getting ready to open 4 new exhibits. The last piece of the puzzle is deciding where to place the mystery fossil in the museum, and that is where you come in. Today you will carefully examine information about body structures in whales, wolves, and the mystery fossil. Using this evidence, you will decide where to place a mystery fossil in the museum with the whales or with the wolves. Remember, the exhibits in our museum are set up so that organisms that are more closely related are grouped together. We are excited to hear what you think the mystery fossil should be placed. So again, we're looking at our mystery fossil and deciding, is it more closely related to whales or is it more closely related to wolves? Okay, so a reminder, this is what our mystery fossil looks like. Okay, in which museum exhibit do you think the mystery fossil belongs? So go ahead, just kind of make a prediction now. We've already done this a couple times. So whales, wolves, or not sure. Okay, moving on, here is our whale, orca whale skeleton. Here's our gray wolf skeleton. I kind of covered over the nostril, so there's a little orange dot here at the end that shows you guys the nostril. And then finally, you guys can see comparatively the mystery fossil. What you guys are going to do is you have 2 little sorting activities that you're going to complete to help you guys kind of organize your thoughts and say, all right, which has more in common, the mystery fossil with the whale or the mystery fossil with the wolf? So this is what our first one looks like on slide 16. Okay, only whales have this structure, only wolves have this structure, or whales and wolves both have this structure. So what you guys see down here, and you can make these bigger if you guys need to be like, all right, I can't see this, I'm going to zoom in. Card A says it has a backbone. All whales are vertebrates. They all have a backbone. So then I can zoom back out and say, all right, is this going to go with only whales have a backbone, only wolves have a backbone, or whales and wolves both have this structure? Remember on slide 15, you guys have you do have these 2 pictures, so I can look and say, here's my whale. It's obviously got a backbone. Here's my gray wolf. It's got a backbone as well. So I would click and drag this and leave it in the whales and wolves both have this structure. So I'm going to go ahead, work through all of these cards. I've got B, C, D, E, F, and I believe G. Maybe even an H. So I'm going to sort those. They don't necessarily have to be laid out. You guys can make them as small as you need to kind of adjust where you want to put them. But go ahead and sort all of those cards in between these 3 columns. Okay, once you guys are kind of done with that, take a look at, you know, what is which one has more for wolves, which one has more for whales, which one are common in both. So if we're talking about them being common in both, we would expect the mystery fossil to probably have some of those same commonalities. Okay? So that's going to be the first thing you guys do is sort those. Okay, and then answer these 2 questions. What are the diagnostic structures in both whales and wolves? So again, look at those little colored spots. And what structures do they not share? Okay, so that's the first thing you guys are going to do there. Is kind of figure out what they share and don't share. Okay, So go ahead, take a second, pause, complete slides 16 and 17, and then when you guys are done, come back to this video and I'll explain the next part. Okay, this next sorting tool is very different, but there's a little bit more interaction that you guys need to do with the cards. In the first one, you guys just read the cards and stuck it in a column. In this one, we're gonna have a little bit different columns, and then there's also gonna be some things that you need to make observations on your cards before you guys sort them. So whales and the mystery fossil share this structure. Wolves and the mystery fossil share this structure. And then whales, wolves, and the mystery fossil all share this structure. So what you guys are going to look at is each of these cards. It tells you guys something different. This first one says mystery fossil nostrils. Make a careful and precise observation about where the nostrils are located on the mystery fossil skull. I think the nostrils are closest to. So you guys would go back to slide 15 and take a look at, all right, here's my whale. It looks like it's kind of on the top of their head. Here is my dire wolf. Again, it's that little orange spot. It's on the very end of its nose. And then this one kind of looks like, I wouldn't even say it's midway up. I'd say it's kind of on the end of its nose as well. Okay, so you guys are going to kind of do your best judgment call on this. If you guys see this lighter colored text, there's something you guys have to do to interact. In this case, you guys can kind of take and highlight. I don't know if you guys use the draw tool. I don't think it'll stick on there. Let me double check. So if I highlight this and then go to move this card, it won't go with it, okay? So for this one, you guys can highlight the actual text, okay? So if I go to home, I highlight, say, all right, it's on the top of my head. I can highlight this, whoopsies, and say, all right, I'm gonna highlight this using my highlighter right here, okay? So keep that in mind that you guys have some that you have to interact with. Some tells you guys to write observations. So like, for instance, this one here, mystery skull, fossil skull shape. Make a careful and precise observation about the mystery fossil skull shape. How would you describe its shape? So you guys are going to click and type in that box, and then you guys would sort it based on the columns that you see. Again, whales and the mystery fossil share this, wolves and the mystery fossil share this, or all three of them share it. Okay? So that's what this next activity looks like. Okay, and then what you guys are going to do is you're going to sum this up. After analyzing the mystery fossil structure and comparing them to the structures of the whales and wolves, which claim do you think is more strongly supported, that the mystery fossil belongs with whales or that the mystery fossil belongs with wolves? Okay. Finally, your exit ticket for the day, you guys are going to place orca whale and gray wolf if this is our mystery fossil. Okay, which one's more closely related is going to go in this box here, and which one you think is not as commonly related or not as closely related, you're going to label that here. So you guys will click and drag and leave those labels. Okay. And then you guys are going to tell me pieces of evidence. Oops, shoot, sorry. For your last slide on slide 21, why? Okay, so why did you guys, put the mystery fossil where you did? Why did you guys say it was more closely related to either orca or the wolves? So provide one piece of evidence from slide 16. So you guys will look back to your table, your sorting table on slide 16, and provide one or explain one piece of evidence that you guys said, hey, this is why I think it's more closely related to whales or wolves. Same thing with slide 18. So look back at this table and kind of what's the one piece of evidence that you guys feel like really helped you. If there's more than one pieces, you guys can explain more than one, but go ahead and do a good explanation. Don't just tell me what the piece of evidence was, but explain why it led you guys to believe that your mystery fossil was either more closely related to whales or to wolves. Okay, once you guys are all done with that, go ahead, double check everything, and then go ahead, hand it in. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.